Africa is increasingly advancing socio-economic growth through the adoption of cryptocurrency transactions and blockchain technologies for e-commerce and entrepreneurship frameworks. The continent is already progressively embracing mobile cash and virtual currency technologies, and experts now argue that blockchain technology-based solutions can address many of Africa's challenges. Well, let's discuss all this with the CEO of Global Tech Academy, Dr. Sunny Ahonsi. He's also a blockchain technology expert and the author of World-Changing Blockchain Opportunities. Great to have you with us on the show today, sir. Well, besides cryptocurrencies, there's certainly a lot of discussion around using blockchain technology to decentralize and develop other instruments, digital identities for e-commerce and so forth. What are your thoughts on the growth of that space on the continent right now?
Well, it's quite very interesting to actually define what the term blockchain really is. What is blockchain? Well, blockchain is a peer-to-peer platform that enable things to happen. It's a blockchain, according to Mark Butnick, the head of transaction services in INEC. He says, blockchain is not the thing, it is a thing that enables the thing. What does that what does it actually stand for? Well, it stands for the fact that blockchain is an enabler. It enables things to function. It functions in terms of keeping information. It functions in terms of helping transactions to take place between two parties, without any intermediation. So it is a public ledger that enables things to function between parties. Parties between transaction of money, platform transaction in keeping of medical record, in logistics and transport. And in fact, in the very near future, not very distant future, blockchain is going to be used for people to do voting, managing all the different protocols in the voting system, which means in the comfort of your home, you can actually cast your vote. Hence, it is a decentralized system that enables it to function. So what that means, computer enabling proximity. That's what blockchain really is.
Right. Well, looking at the African continent, how much progress have you really seen in the adoption of blockchain technologies? How far are we from the rest of the world?
Well, there are certain things that is happening in the 55 or 54 different parts of Africa. Obviously, some parts have grown technologically more than others. Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya are a little bit advanced in comparison to other parts of Africa. But in the broader sense, blockchain is actually taking off, and it is going to help a lot of economic, political, technological advancement in that particular continent. So yes, it is growing in a pace which is actually very encouraging as we speak.
Well, recently, let's just point to one project. Mobile lender Tala and Visa launched a card that will provide access to stablecoin or a stablecoin called USDC to the unbanked in emerging markets. That, of course, is a first for Africa, so that shows the progress taking place. What are some of the projects for you that are pushing the growth of blockchain on the continent and, of course, cryptocurrencies as well?
Well, I mean, this is very, very interesting part of the development. In fact, this is I have covered in my recent book, which was published at the World-Changing Blockchain Opportunities. I think the advent of blockchain will really bring about, and cryptocurrency, of course, will bring about a lot of emancipation, a lot of economic growth in the African continent. Let's just say one aspect, for example, what Tala and the other partners are doing is stable currency in terms of incorporating this into the financial environment. If you look into so many African countries, many people are not having the access to financial institutions. In fact, globally, not just in Africa, there are about 2.5 billion people who are excluded from the main financial system. But with the advent of blockchain, there'll be equality that is going to be brought about, because the Bitcoin in the African continent is exactly the same Bitcoin value in America. in Europe and different parts of the globe. So bringing in cryptocurrency and blockchain together, we enable Africa to be included, and many who are excluded from the international financial institutions. So the blockchain, we say, an opportune moment that will enable that African continent to progress and move along at the same pace and speed just as you have in other parts of the globe. So blockchain is a good thing that will encourage and foster business transaction and will bring Africa into the forefront, into the real middle ground of financial engagement and financial management.
Well, the reality is regulators on the continent, they've been somewhat hesitant. For example, looking at cryptocurrencies in Kenya and Nigeria, central banks are limiting how much lenders and financial institutions can do business with crypto-based companies. Given that we're seeing non-traditional players such as Tala, mobile money lenders, entering the game now, from your viewpoint, who is winning this fight? Is it the players in the crypto space or the regulators?
this is quite fascinating and very interesting. I don't think I'm going to classify them into winners and losers. I think it's just the fact that some aspect of the system do not understand what is actually happening. And in fact, it's as if you're working against your own interest. The regulators we have in the African continent. This happened in America, it happened in China, it happened in Europe, where some governmental authority wanted to stamp out the advent of the blockchain and the crypto. But stamping out blockchain and crypto is like actually closing down the whole entire internet. That's how difficult it is. So the crypto and the blockchain have come to stay, in my personal opinion, because of the way things have moved. Today, we have over 100 million people around the globe who are participants. Yes, it's still around about 1% or less than that, but it is actually gaining ground. And also, for the regulators in Africa, all they really need is about education to see that the blockchain is not actually, or the crypto for that matter, is not actually coming to work against the government and the governmental establishment in that particular part of the continent, but that is actually going to add a lot of value and strengthen the economic position of the African governments and continents in general. And it will empower a lot of opportunity for particularly a lot of young people. And Africa has about 70% of the young people under 35. Can you imagine? So blockchain technology will empower this particular huge segment of the growing population of Africa and bring the needed economic emancipation to the whole African continent. So the government, the authority, the regulator in the African continent just need education. That's what it is. That this particular technology will enable a lot of activity to take place in their own continent and will unify and fortify, optimize the growing financial, political, economic, and technological institutions in the process.
Well, certainly a very insightful conversation. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to having you back, Dr. Sunny. That, of course, was Dr. Sunny Ahonsi. He is a blockchain technology expert.